The EU's cash ban, the quiet birth of financial authoritarianism. The moment control went digital. The European Union has agreed to a uniform bloc-wide ban on cash transactions over €10,000. This is not modernization or reform. It is the quiet institutionalization of financial control. The policy marks a decisive shift towards state-engineered dependence, a moment when private economic life becomes conditional on government approval. The move is presented as a tool to combat money laundering and organized crime. In reality, it extends the reach of bureaucracy into every significant exchange. The promise of security hides a deeper transformation, the conversion of financial autonomy into monitored compliance. Europe's economic failure and fiscal desperation. Over the past 2 decades, Europe's economy has stagnated. Growth remains weak, demographics are aging, and innovation struggles under the weight of regulation. Despite this, citizens face both high income taxes and high consumption taxes, a combination that was once considered unsustainable. When productivity and expansion stall, governments often look inward for control. Instead of freeing markets to grow, they tighten the rules around how citizens spend, save, and exchange value. The new cash ban reflects this desperation. It is not a response to growth, but a symptom of decline. The policy as mechanism of control. The €10,000 limit is not about transparency. It is about traceability. Any transaction of real significance must now pass through a digital filter overseen by the state. What used to be private economic choice becomes a monitored activity. Anti-money laundering language provides moral cover for what is essentially a data collection regime. Once transactions are digitally standardized, every payment can be analyzed, flagged, or frozen. By enforcing uniform compliance across all member states, the EU centralizes both the flow of money and the power to restrict it. The cashless convergence. The cash ban is not an isolated measure. It is a stepping stone towards central bank digital currencies, forms of programmable money that remove anonymity entirely. When physical currency disappears, every purchase, gift, and withdrawal becomes a matter of digital record. Such systems redefine ownership. A bank balance ceases to be a private asset and becomes a conditional credit line, maintained at the pleasure of regulators. The more the system digitizes, the easier it becomes to restrict, monitor, or reverse transactions. Privacy and autonomy are replaced by oversight and permission. The precedent, China's digital obedience system. China has already demonstrated where such systems lead. Its social credit program integrates digital payments with behavioral monitoring. Citizens who fall out of favor with the state can lose the right to travel, bank, or even buy groceries. The enforcement is algorithmic and invisible. The West does not need to share China's ideology to adopt its infrastructure of control. By normalizing cashless systems, governments build the same foundation for behavioral management, only under the guise of efficiency and progress. The incremental path to total surveillance. Control rarely arrives as tyranny. It expands through convenience. Tap-to-pay cards, cashless venues, biometric IDs, all are presented as modern, frictionless solutions. Each one normalizes dependence. Each one erodes the boundary between citizen and subject. When the ability to transact becomes conditional on state approval, dissent becomes costly. Privacy fades not through confiscation, but through neglect. A generation that forgets the value of cash forgets that autonomy requires friction. The currency of freedom. Cash is not an outdated relic of the past. It is the last anonymous frontier of personal freedom. A society that cannot transact privately cannot dissent meaningfully. When money itself becomes programmable, freedom is not taken away, it simply stops existing in the code. The EU's cash ban is not a financial policy. It is the quiet birth of a system designed for total visibility, one transaction at a time.